Okay, so we're going to be talking about EastEnders and what's going on with it at the moment. So, at the moment, Stacey Slater is currently being stalked by Freddie's older teacher. Theo came onto the square because Freddie needed help. No, Freddie had a problem with this teacher he felt he used to be bullied by this teacher. So everyone was like, why don't you just call him and face him, tell him how he felt. So it stems into him saying, confronting him, and then, it stems into Theo getting him help for suspected ADHD. So on the outside, Theo just, to everyone else, he just seems like, a friendly, happy teacher. But he has got a dark side. So he was obsessed with a woman previously, who unfortunately she was being stalked by Theo for I think about a year. It doesn't say whether she went to the police or anything with it, but she unfortunately committed suicide as a result of all this stalking and that from Theo. So Theo begins to help Lily, which is Stacey's daughter, in tutoring at home because obviously she's pregnant and she doesn't go to school much now. She gets home tutoring. And the plan was he was going to help her, I think it was going to help her when she's had the baby to still get, up her grades up. So she doesn't miss out on school. People in the house can help her with, with the baby and that. So last week we find out that Theo shows his true colours to Stacey. Like all along, people around her have said like, why is Theo about all the time? Even Martin, Stacey's ex-husband, has also commented, done some few comments, as that he's concerned about Stacey basically, and he wants to know what Theo's game is. There has been a few times where Martin has literally grabbed hold of Theo. You think he was going to punch him or something. But we found out last week, Stacey, she does cam work to make money, obviously, because she works on a BAP stall and they don't really make a lot of money. Even though there's quite a few adults living in the household, they're still struggling with money. So Stacey comes up with this idea to do some cam work, and she has one client who just, first of all, it starts out, he just wants to talk to her, just wants to ask about her day and stuff like that. And he pays her money for this, for this information. And then like later on, it starts getting a bit seedy where he was trying to get her to do things that, she won't do, basically. And like I said, all while this is going on, people are like trying to, a teacher from the old school was also talking to Martin and said, look, this guy, he's dangerous, basically, keep your friend away from him. And then last week, that we saw that teacher again, and she just said, like, if your friend if he's obsessed with your friend's in danger. So this is the moment where Stacey actually confronts Theo, because he mentions that, he's the one stalking her, he's the one sending her things, and just really messed up stuff, basically, what he's been doing. And just crazy stuff. But the last episode we saw that had him in it, he basically Jack, who is a policeman, I think he's a CID or something, he actually he told Stacey to go to the police because literally when Lily was giving birth, which is Stacey's daughter, was giving birth, he was in the kitchen, like, wouldn't let her go out the door and stuff like that. So she managed to fend him off and get him out of the house, and Stacey delivered her daughter's baby safely. While this is going on, then they go to the hospital, and she reports it to Jack. Jack says to her, you got to report it to the police. So when she reports it to the police, she tells them everything, basically, what's happening, what she was doing with the cam work and everything. And then they managed to pull in Theo, and he tells them like a different story. He's like saying that they're in love. All this you can see like in the video. You know, you see in the episode when he's having his police interview that he just looks out of his complete and utter mind. He just looks like he's in fairyland. You know, the way he's talking about her and stuff like that. And obviously the police, they say to him like, we can't just take your word for it. We need to look at your phone and see if you've got any messages and that. So he's obviously wiped all these messages he sent her, you know, all the bad ones or something, and they let him go. So to Stacey's horror, she finds out they've let him go, and she's sitting there panicking along with the rest of them. Even Jack's like panicking. He's saying, look, you know, he doesn't think it's safe for the baby to come back because the baby is his granddaughter, basically. So he's like, and then he kind of, and then he sees Theo at the hospital because Lily has got no idea what's going on. No one's told her anything about him being a stalker and stuff like that. So she calls him, and he comes to the hospital. When Stacey goes to the room, the baby and Lily are gone. She obviously thinks the worst. She manages to track him down just after he basically tells Lily that her mum and him have had a disagreement, and that she was doing the cam work again, and he's told her not to do it, which is a complete and utter lie for a start. So it's and then so she comes back to the house with the baby. Everyone's discharged after the social services like happy with them. And they're all there, all the generations of the Slaters. You know, you got Jean, you got Stacey, you got Lily, you got her daughter now. And while Jean is introducing the baby to her family, you have Theo in the distance watching into their window. And this is after Jack has actually said to him to keep away, you know, and because Stacey said to him, you come anywhere near me or my kids or anything, I'm going to kill you. And then she said that right in front of Jack, and then Theo says, well, she's just threatened me. He's basically trying to get her arrested or something, and he's like, well, I didn't hear anything. So he was basically taking Stacey's side, but he knows he's a dangerous person, and he basically warns him off not to come anywhere near them. And he obviously ignored this warning because later on he's seen watching into the Slater house at Jean holding her great-granddaughter at the window. And then like later on you see him on mobile phone booking a viewing for a flat, which is 29 Albert Square. I believe this is in between Stacey and Jack, because Jack said he lives two doors away from Stacey, and so that would make him, 30 Albert Square. So yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. I feel like I know they're building up to something, EastEnders, and they always do around Christmas time. There is an actual trailer of, and there was an episode of them. There was Stacey, there was Suki, there was Linda, Kathy, Denise. I think that was all of them that are all in the pub, and they've shown they've killed, that someone's died in the pub. So someone's wearing cufflinks. So there's big speculation going around that Theo's going to be the one that's going to die basically at Christmas. And I feel like this is going to be like a Dirty Den, remake sort of thing, because when Dirty Den died, when Den Watts died, there was oh God, what's her name? There was Kat's daughter. There was oh God, I can't remember her name now. But yeah, basically there was 3 of them in there, and someone killed them, and everyone's like, who done it? So I feel like this is going to be like another one. he's going to be the one in the pub, and someone's going to be protecting themselves, or someone's going to accidentally hit him or something. But